I followed my wife to the book club and found him. It started with a text message from our neighbor, Marcy. Saw Miranda at the book club with someone else. You should know. I read it twice, thinking maybe my eyes had misread the words. But no, there it was, black on white, and something in me shifted. Book club. Miranda had been telling me about her new book club for months. She spoke about it with enthusiasm. The characters, the plot twists, the discussions with other members. She said it was her hobby, a way to connect with her love of literature. And now apparently it wasn't. I felt a chill crawl up my spine, a mixture of disbelief and curiosity. My stomach knotted. Who was she really meeting? And why hadn't she mentioned him to me? I tried to breathe calmly. I wanted answers. But I knew that whatever I was about to discover would change everything. Miranda had always been someone who appreciated words. Even before the book club, she had shelves filled with novels, memoirs, and poetry. We had spent countless evenings discussing authors we loved, quoting lines from stories that resonated with us. When she told me she wanted to join a local book club, I was genuinely happy for her. A hobby, she said, to enrich her mind, meet new people, and maybe inspire our own conversations at home. At first it was harmless. She would tell me about the book she was reading. We're discussing The Great Gatsby tonight, she said, with a spark in her eyes. I love analyzing the characters' motivations. I believed her. I wanted to. Then came the small oddities. She started leaving early for her club meetings, sometimes with no explanation of the time. She came home smelling faintly of unfamiliar perfume, the scent sweet and woody, something I had never worn. Receipts appeared in our shared accounts, cafes I had never been to, boutique restaurants, small gifts that made no sense in the context of a book club. I didn't confront her, not immediately. I told myself she had new friends, new experiences. Perhaps she deserved a little space. Over time, the oddities became patterns. I noticed that the book club meetings often coincided with dinner invitations I had made that she declined at the last minute. Weekend plans I suggested seemed to evaporate as soon as her club schedule appeared. Curiosity turned into suspicion, and suspicion turned into quiet investigation. I asked once if I could attend a meeting. I'd love to see what it's like, I said casually. Her expression changed subtly, not in anger, not in fear, but in a way that made my chest tighten. Oh, it's really just a small group of women from the neighborhood, she said, not really suitable for guests. I accepted that explanation, or at least I tried to. But the unease stayed. Then one evening I saw something on social media that made my heart lurch. A photo, Miranda sitting in a cozy cafe, laughing. Next to her, a man I didn't recognize. They were leaning in close, drinks in hand. Their expressions were warm, intimate, casual in a way that suggested a deep familiarity. I stared at the screen, my mind refusing to reconcile the image with the woman I thought I knew. I began paying attention to subtle patterns. Locations, cafes, boutique restaurants, small art galleries, all places Miranda claimed were book club venues. Messages. I noticed emojis, inside jokes, casual flirty language in messages she thought she deleted. Timing. Meetings always happened when I was busy with work or out running errands. I didn't confront her. I wanted certainty. I needed proof. Then one Thursday evening, an opportunity presented itself. Miranda had left her phone charging on the kitchen counter. She had gone to shower, thinking I was occupied with work emails. I glanced at the notifications, a half-written message to D. Can't wait for tonight. I'll bring the notes, but maybe we'll discuss other things. Other things. I felt my stomach twist. I checked further, cautiously, ensuring she couldn't see me. Emails, messages, even calendar entries, all pointing to the same truth. There was no book discussion. The book club didn't exist in the way she described. It was a cover, a front for someone else. I decided to follow her discreetly one evening. She left our home carrying a small tote bag and wearing a scarf I didn't recognize. Her car took the longer route, one that passed through the city center, instead of the neighborhood hall she claimed to meet at. I followed at a safe distance. She stopped at a small, warmly lit cafe. And there he was, Daniel, a man tall and composed with an easy smile. They greeted each other warmly, leaning close, laughing as if no one else existed in the world. No books, no discussion, no literature. They ordered drinks, sat in a quiet corner, and talked in low, intimate voices. I watched, my heart heavy, but my mind clear. The betrayal was undeniable. Receipts confirmed their meetings over weeks. Breakfasts, late dinners, coffee dates. Each outing meticulously recorded, each conversation secretly cherished, all while I was oblivious. I didn't approach immediately. I wanted to remain calm. When Miranda returned home that night, I greeted her as usual. "Dinner's ready," she said, her tone light, as if nothing were amiss. I nodded, ate in silence. Later, as we settled in the living room, I spoke softly. "Miranda, the book club, can we talk about it?" She paused, sensing the weight in my voice. "Yeah, of course," she said cautiously. I turned to her, eyes steady. I know about Daniel, about the club, about the cafes, the dinners, the secret meetings." Her lips parted slightly. For a moment there was disbelief, then panic. It's not what you think," she whispered. I didn't interrupt. I let the silence stretch. I wanted her to see that the evidence spoke louder than any excuses. "I followed you," I said quietly. "I saw everything. The cafes, the dinners, the laughter, the notes, the messages." She sank into the sofa, her hands trembling. I didn't mean—" "I know," I said calmly. "I know." No shouting, no tears from me. Just quiet. Clarity. I spent that night awake, staring at the ceiling. The book club, the thing she claimed was a hobby, a passion, was a facade, a carefully constructed cover for months of deceit. I thought of the irony. A place meant for the exploration of imagination, characters and stories had become a stage for betrayal. The most ordinary routines, cafes, books, meetings, were the instruments of deception. I realized then that life often hides the extraordinary in plain sight. You see a book, a cafe, a hobby, and think it's innocent. And yet beneath it, there can be a life you never imagined, a secret carefully guarded. I did not rage. I did not yell. I did not demand explanations I already knew. I simply acknowledged the truth. Miranda had betrayed me. She had hidden a parallel life behind the guise of a hobby we both valued. And in that quiet, I understood that this knowledge, painful as it was, gave me clarity I had never had before. I was no longer blind to the duplicity in my own home. The next morning, Miranda sat across from me at the breakfast table, looking tired, apprehensive. I don't know what to say," she murmured. "You don't need to say anything," as I replied. Calm, measured, clear. "The truth speaks for itself." She nodded, tears forming in her eyes. She tried to reach for my hand. I didn't stop her. I didn't respond. I let her gestures exist without reaction. The book club was over. Not just the fictional one, but the life she had been hiding. I poured myself coffee, looked out the window, and thought about the strange ways deception grows in everyday life. How ordinary routines, innocent hobbies, and small secrets can hide extraordinary betrayals. And I resolved to move forward, quietly, calmly, with my eyes wide open. The story of the book club with no books had ended. The betrayal had been revealed, and I was still here, observing, learning, and surviving. Dear subscriber, if you have a personal story to tell and ready to share it with our community in the next video, please write us. Our email is storytimelounge320@gmail.com.